Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rival. Welcome back to another episode of the Oakland Athletics franchise here on MLB The Show 24, as we got two series at home here in the Coliseum and what is now known as the final season here in Oakland. Yes, the news, the Athletics will be moving to Sacramento for the next 3 seasons following this year. So we got to make these games in the Coliseum count while we still got it. If you're excited for this one, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content. Luis Medina, who recently was moved into the starting rotation, making his 3rd start of the season. Hasn't been the best year for him, but he does get Ezequiel Tovar to ground out to begin the day. We'll take a look at the Colorado Rockies lineup. Hasn't been the best year for them. Here's a look at their squad, followed by Charlie Blackmon now playing DH. Nolan Jones, the centerpiece of their team in right field, followed by Ryan McMahon at third, who leads the Rockies with 9 homers. Brendan Rodgers at second, Sean Bouchot in left, Montero at first, Hanna in center, and Scouge behind the plate. Here's Charlie Blackmon, who gets one right back up, but off of the leg of Medina. And he's actually doubled over. A little bit shaken up after the hit off the ankle, but he's going to stay in the game. The next batter, Nolan Jones, will single into right field. Now to bring up Ryan McMahon, 3-1 pitch, and he looks at ball 4 inside, doesn't clip the plate. So now 2 on, 2 out for Brendan Rodgers, and he'll hit this one into right field. That'll get down for a base hit. Runner will come around and score, and it'll be a 1-0 Rockies lead as Medina, after taking the ball off the ankle, has yet to record an out. Sean Bouchot up next, 0-1 pitch to him, and he launches one to left field, and this one clears the fence and out of here. A 3-run shot for Sean Bouchot, his 3rd home run of the season. The Rockies jump out to a 4-0 lead. You have to think, is that ankle bothering Luis Medina? Marcotte will keep him in the game, as now up next is Montero, who swings and misses at the slider, but a 4 spot here in the first over to Pete Lambert, who hasn't had the best start to his season either, with a 7.64 ERA, but it's kind of nice when you're going to get a free 4-run lead. Zach Geloff will begin the day for the Oakland Athletics, hitting .250 on the campaign. 2-2 pitch, and he will strike out. They'll say he went around on the slurve low for out number 1. Going to bring up Ryan Noda at the plate next, and he can't connect. Nasty 12-6, and Lambert strikes out the first 2. Going to bring up Shea Langoliers, who pops up a 1-0 fastball into left field, where that'll be an easy play to end the first. We'll go into the bottom of the 4th now, back to the top of the lineup. Geloff back at the plate, and he's going to do what we just saw Langoliers do in the first, and that's pop outs on a fastball. Back to Ryan Noda up next. 1-1 pitch to him, and he gets a fastball and hits it up the middle, but it'll be caught. Just hangs in the air a little too long. Shea Langoliers up next. 1-2 pitch to him. This time he takes a fastball and hits it into the gap for a double at least. As it rolls all the way to the wall, Jones will get to it, but yes, that is a 2-out double for Shea Langoliers, keeping the inning alive. Now for Brent Rooker, first pitch, fastball high, he hits it the other way, it's got some carry, and this one's going to clear the wall on top of the scoreboard. A 2-run shot for Brent Rooker, his 11th home run of the season, by far and away has been our best hitter this year, and he gets the A's on the board, now 4-2. It's still in favor of Colorado, so Seth Brown up next will swing through a slider, but the A's cut the lead in half. We go to top 5. Medina still in the game. He's settled in a little bit after that first inning, but he does give up a leadoff single into center here before Lawrence Butler getting the start today tracks it down. Blackmon up next, looks at strike 3 low. Fastball hits the bottom. That's the 6K of the day for Medina. And we'll bring up Nolan Jones, though. 1 for 2. We saw him score a run back in the first. He has 1 on. 2-1 pitch. The runner's actually going to go and try to steal second, but it doesn't work out. Gunned down for the 2nd out. Nice throw by Langoliers. And then 2 pitches later, looks at strike 3. Medina, despite a first inning that was rough, has pitched pretty well. He'll only go 5, though. He'll get his ankle checked out in the dugout, and we'll bring in Trevor Gotts out of the pen, who's been arguably our best reliever so far this year. First batter he sees in the 6th is Ryan McMahon, who pops out to the 3rd baseman for the first out of the inning. Brendan Rodgers up next, 2-2. Broken bat. Watch out, Gott. He dodges it, goes to cover first, and barely beats out Rodgers by a step for the 2nd out. Sean Bouchot with a 3-run shot in the first, goes down on the cutter, clips the half of the plate. Nice 1-2-3 inning for Gott. Bottom 6 now. Here's Geloff back up at the plate, and he's going to go shopping gap. This one rolls all the way to the wall, and our second baseman has himself a 2-bagger here to begin the bottom of the 6th. That is his 10th double of the season. Next up, Ryan Noda. He swings through a fastball that he got to hit right down the pipe. First out of the inning. And with that, that'll actually do it for Peter Lambert. Right after striking out his 8th batter, they're going to turn it over to John Curtis, as he will inherit the runner on second, making his 6th appearance, is yet to allow an earned run. Shea Langeliers, the first batter he'll face, and he'll go fishing on the low slider. Brent Rooker up next. He draws a walk. He doesn't offer at it. He'll put him on first. And that'll bring up the next batter, Seth Brown. He's K'd twice today. Got a big spot here, though. 0-1 pitch, and Brown pops up a fastball to left field. And despite the early double, the A's will get nothing in the 6th. Go later into this one now. Scal Alexander will come into the game. 1 out here in the 7th. Has not been a good year for the lefty. He faces Jameson Hanna at first, and well, his first batter, he will give up a single into left field. So another runner on here for the Rockies. Evan Skoog up next, and he'll pop this one up to his catcher brethren. An easy play for Shea Langeliers. Back to the top of the lineup, Tovar at the plate. Hitting over 300 this year as he hits this one to right center. And it'll be tracked down by Rooker. And the A's still only down by 2. Tyler Kinley will then come in relief here in the 7th. 2.76 ERA. Trying to get his 3rd hold of the year. He'll start off his day against Lawrence Butler, who's 0 for 2 on the day. Full count pitch. Butler draws the walks. That'll put him on first. That'll bring up the next batter in Daryl Hernandez. The DH today is also 0 for 2. A flyouts and a pop-out. 1-2 pitch to him. He's swinging on a low slider. Another nasty pitch by Kinley. Gets the first out of the inning. That brings up Aledmys Diaz, who a 2-1 pitch crushes one to left. If it stays fair, it's gone. It is fair, and it is out of here. Aledmys Diaz with a 2-run shot, and just like that, the A's have brought it all the way back. All tied up at 4 now after the first home run of the season for Diaz, and it couldn't come at a better time. We're all scored away at 4. So now we're back to a level playing field, but Toro will swing through a fastball he should have hit. That brings up Zach Geloff up next. He's going to chop this one over to shorts, fielded cleanly, and that will be thrown out at first. But with 2 innings to go, we're all tied up at 4, and Zach Jackson will be brought in for relief here. It has not been a good year for him. A 9.45 ERA over a run an inning, which is interesting because he's being brought in with 2 on. Britton Doyle, his pinch run, is checked in now, and so with Sterling Thompson. So with runners on the corners, Jackson's got to try to strand it. He's got one out for Brendan Rodgers, and he throws one to the back of the stop, and it is going to be a run. A wild pitch by Zach Jackson allows the runner to score. The Rockies get it right back. Rodgers will then chop this one over to first. A nice play by Noda. That probably saves another as he tags first base. The runner on third, another hit scores him, and Shane Boucher will hit this one over to Geloff. Tough play to his right, but he makes it. The Rockies now lead 5-4 after the wild pitch. An interesting call to bring Jackson in that scenario. So now Jalen Beeks will take over. The lefty making his 18th appearance. He's trying to now hold a 1-run lead as he'll begin the inning, though, by walking Ryan Noda. We go into the heart of the lineup. 0-2 now for Langeliers, but a circled change has him fooled. Strike 3. How about Brent Rooker? He's gone yard once today. He draws a walk. They don't give him nothing to swing at. I don't blame him. Now 2 on. And Esturia Reeves will be pinch running for Brent Rooker. Get some more speed on the base pass. Has a Seth Brown now, 0-2 pitch, and they're going to say he went around. I don't necessarily agree. That's a big strikeout for Beeks. This is now 2 down, full count for Butler, and he swings through a fastball right down the middle. Athletics with another missed opportunity, which means it's going to go into the 9th. And Justin Lawrence, 9 for 10 for saves on the season, trying to get his 10th out of 11th. He gets Hernandez to pop up to left. That'll be the first out here in the 9th. Diaz up next, who's gone yard once today, swings through a low slurve on a pitch he knows he shouldn't have swung at, which means this game is all in the hands of Abraham Toro. He struck out back in the 7th, 0 for 3 on the day. 2-1 pitch, a nice slurve up high, but he gets underneath it, flies it to center, and that'll do it. The Rockies win by a final score of 5-4, and a tough one to swallow for the Athletics. You go down 4-0 early, but you bring it all the way back to tie it, and then a wild pitch is what costs us. Just still an interesting call by Mark Kotsay to just bring in Jackson in that scenario. You know he's been struggling, and well, another run given up. I know it wasn't earned on him, but the wild pitch was his fault. 5 runs and 9 hits for the Rockies, 4 for 5 for the A's. Bouchot was your player of the game with that 3-run shot back in the first. And Colorado takes game 1 of this 3-game set at home that you got to win if you're the A's. And unfortunately, we're not going to win it because then we lose 5-3 in the next one. And again, a 5 spot in the first. We struggle in the early innings. This time, it was Paul Blackburn. 5 earned runs. He didn't even get out of the first. We're going to make a change to our rotation. Joe Boyle, who's been down in AAA, who you saw in the last Down on the Far episode, has pitched pretty well. And he made 3 good starts last year. So we're going to make our first change to the rotation to try to fix it. Joe Boyle will get the chance. Hogan Harris will be sent down. Yes, he just went 6 1/3 scoreless, but he's going to be sent down to AAA. I was between him and Medina, and well, I'm going to give Medina the chance, but that doesn't look like the right call because then in Game 3 we lose 11-6, 9 early runs for the Rockies, and Medina now in the bullpen, 3 earned runs in 3 innings after 7 earned runs given up by Alex Wood. So might be his last chance we see Luis Medina. So we get swept by the Rockies, and now we got to stay at home at the Coliseum to face the 29-21 Houston Astros in what is, I don't want to say a must-win series for the A's, but you don't want to lose another one here in this 6-game homestand. Rocking the Kelly Greens tonight, the beautiful uniforms for the A's. This will be J.P. Sears getting the start. After 3 bad starts by our starting pitchers, we need a good one out of Sears. He'll start off his day against Jeremy Pena, the World Series MVP from a couple years ago. And he'll hit this one to shallow right, where it'll be caught by Rooker. And we'll take a look at the Astros lineup. As you can see it on your screen, we'll see Jose Abreu up next, followed by Jose Altuve, Kyle Tucker in right, Alex Bregman at third, Chase McCormick at center, Mauricio Dubon getting the start at DH today, followed by Victor Caratini behind the plate, and Jake Myers in left. His team 77 home runs, and second in the National League, or the American League, excuse me. Jose Abreu up next, singles one up the middle, so that'll be the first hit of the day for the Astros. Jose Altuve up next, gets jammed and pops this one up into the shallow part of the outfield, where Geloff will make the nice play for the second out of the inning. Kyle Tucker up next, hitting .322, but he can't hit the fastball. Strike 3, Sears gets through the first. On the mound for the Astros is the 3-time Cy Young Award winner Justin Verlander, a Hall of Fame career. Still kicking it here, .394 ERA through his 10 starts on the season. Zach Geloff will lead off for the A's today, and he'll swing through a low circle change. How about Esteury getting back in the starting lineup, and he swings through a fastball. Quick 2 Ks for Verlander. And why not make it 3 for 3, a backwards K? The A's struggle with strikeouts this year, and well, 3 in the first is not going to help. We're going to go top 3 now, where Victor Caratini leads off for the Astros, and he hits a long one to center for a loud out number 1. Jake Myers up next now, only 123 on the season, but he comes through here. A 1-hopper to the left field wall as Brown gets to it, and that's going to be a 1-out double for the number 9 hole hitter. Right back to the top of the lineup the Astros go. Pena up next, 1-2 pitch. Up the middle, this is going to get through a base hit, and Myers is going to round third, and with speed, he's going to get home with ease, and the Astros strike first here in the third, 1-0. Jose Abreu up next, 1-2. He swings through the nice fastball. Second out of the inning. It brings up Jose Altuve, the former AL MVP, 0 for 1. You saw him pop up back in the first. 1-1 pitch to him. He hits this one into right field, and it gets through for another base hit. So 2 outs, but still 2 on now for Houston for Kyle Tucker. Full count pitch, and inside fastball gets him again. This time he didn't even swing the bat. But the Astros get 1 here in the third. We'll stick with them top 5. Victor Caratini again leading off, and this time he gets a base hit. Left field wall for him, and that's going to be a leadoff double for the catcher. So Myers, who we just saw in his last at-bat get a double of his own, he breaks his bat, goes over to first, where Noda will field it, flip it over to Sears, but the runner does move up to third base. Right back to the top of the lineup. Pena has the only RBI today. Hits a nice one here, and he's going to get the second. This ball gets down. It's going to be an RBI double for the World Series MVP from 2 years ago. He gives the Astros a 2-0 lead. Jose Abreu up next, 1-1 to him. Chopper right over to Allen, playing short today. And he makes the play. Brings up Altuve again, 0-1 pitch to him. And he hits this one to deep right center. This one's got some carry, and it's going to clear the double-decker wall for a homer. And the Astros with a 2-run shot from their second baseman, the 8th of the season for Altuve. And this lead has just been extended. Now 4-0. here in the top of the 5th. Sears will stay in and try to get the final out of the inning. It'll be Kyle Tucker, 0 for 2 on the day, and this time chops it over to second, where Geloff will field it, but Houston now leads by 4. We'll go bottom 5 to see if the A's have any sort of answer, as here's Toro leading us off, and well, he slings through a fastball. It's not been a good year for him, hitting only 185. It's also not been a good year for Allen, hitting only 194. Grounded back in the 3rd. 1-2 pitch to him, and he swings through a high fastball. Verlander just cutting down these A's batters. His 8th strikeout already of the day. How about Zach Geloff? 0 for 1, struck out back in the 1st. He's not going to strike out here, but he's going to pop up the first pitch he sees into the large outfield territory, and the A's go out of the 5th with a whimper. Go to top 6. Here's Gott again as he relieves J.P. Sears. 1.17 ERA. That's a best in the bullpen by far. 0-2 pitch to Bregman, who reaches for a cutter, and he's going to actually bloop this one to center. That one had no business being a base hit, but it drops regardless. So he's on first. Chas McCormick up next. The liner over to Noto with a nice play. Gets the first out of the inning. How about Mauricio Dubon? Jordan Alvarez is getting the day off, and Dubon instead will strike 3 on the inside pitch. And I'll actually do it for Gott. He's got a lot of action recently. He's been tired. So we're actually going to turn it over to Alexander. It's an interesting matchup because Caratini is on the right side. And, well, he just dribbles it in front of Langoliers. So we do get the final out of the 6th. Going to the bottom of the 7th now. Here's Darell Hernandez leading off for the A's. Now underneath 200 on the season. But he draws a leadoff walk. Verlander striking out a lot of batters today. But he's already walked 5 batters. This man has walked once already. Abraham Toro at the dish. And this time he just walks on 4 straight pitches. So Verlander with back-to-back walks. You see his pitch count well over 100, but he's staying in the game. Nick Allen now up next, 0 for 2, also underneath 200 on the season. 0-2 pitch to him, and he will strike out again. He will not draw a free base, as that is Verlander's 12th K of the day. How about Zach Geloff up to the dish? He also has walked in the 3rd inning, and is striking out as well. Full count pitch to him. He draws another walk. So Verlander walks the bases loaded. That's 7 free passes on the day. And well, that's going to do it for him. Pitch count up over 120. He will be pulled. And Jose Urquidy will be called up to try to strand the bases loaded here for the A's. A big spot for Ruiz, who gets a high changeup. It hits it into center. It will be caught. That should be deep enough to score the first run, and it is. So the A's get on the board here in the 7th. Now trailed by 3. Runners on the corners for Langoliers. A high curveball, a pitch he should drive, but a great play by Abreu to knock it down. Then in the 7th, that could have been another run given up. Zach Jackson now in relief. He's at least got the ERA underneath 9, but still obviously on a very short leash. He gets the 8th inning. Starts off with Kyle Tucker, who grounds it over to Geloff. That's the first out of the frame. How about Bregman up next? 3-1 pitch. He ropes one to center field, but is right at Ruiz. Allowed out number 2. Chas McCormick up next, hitless on the day, and he'll stay that way. Slider gets some swing and a nice inning out of Zach Jackson. We'll go bottom 8 now, where the 3-time reliever of the year, Josh Hader, will come in relief. The former Brewer not having a good season. He comes in with 1 away in the 8th, and well, he gets Noda to then pop up to deep right field for the 2nd out of the frame. How about Seth Brown, another lefty? Hader gets some swinging on the slider, and the A's are down to their final inning. They'll have to do it against Brian Abreu. He's been dominant so far this year, 14 saves on a 1.13 ERA with a 30% strikeout rate. He'll start off against Hernandez, 3-1 pitch, and he walks him. Another free base here for the A's. They've done a good job at least getting on base via the walk. As then Toro, again for the 2nd time today, will walk on 4 straight pitches. So just like that, the tying run is at the plate, and Will Allen will strike out again. That was a nice pitch by Abreu. 1 down now for the top of the lineup. Geloff then swings through a slider. Another K for the Astros, which means we're down to our final outs in Esteury Ruiz. 1-1 pitch. Slider ripped into left. Nice contact, but it's caught right at the left fielder. And that'll do it. The Astros win game 1 of this set by a final score of 4-1. It was a very up and down game here for the A's. The pitching wasn't necessarily terrible outside of 1 frame from J.P. Sears. While the hitting only had 2 hits on the day, but we had a lot of free base runners. So he definitely had a chance in this game. just couldn't get the runs across home plate when they mattered, and that's because we only had 2 hits. Play of the game will go to Verlander, who had 12 Ks but did walk 7, as we had 9 free base runners in this game and couldn't get the win. Game 2, we at least win this one 4-2, as we get a 3 spot in the 4th inning, thanks to a couple of RBIs from Carlos Perez and Jordan Diaz. But we do lose Game 3 10-2, 8 runs late here for the Astros, and that propels them to a victory, as this time was a bad game by Mitch Spence and Trevor Gott. So next episode will be on the road for a 3-game set in Tampa Bay, followed by a 3-game trip to Atlanta, and what will get us into the month of June as we continue on with this season. Hope you guys have enjoyed this series so far. If you have, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.